show. This is your man Jay Licks, and yeah, you're back rocking with the Culture Cure. It's been a long time. I let COVID get to me and didn't take the necessary precautions to try to figure this thing out, but we figured it out. I got everybody here. How y'all doing? All right? What's up, Tiff?
Life's good. No complaints. Trying to make it.
Okay. You real fancy. You was ready for this podcasting thing, but we're not gonna talk about where I got that mic. So yeah, Soraya, how are you doing?
Hi guys, I'm tired, but happy to see your faces as always and catch up.
Aaron.
Oh, I missed this. I'm glad to be back.
So what's been going on? How this COVID thing? How has it been for everyone?
It has its days. Some days it's okay. Other days it's like I've had enough. You just spend a lot of time with yourself, which I'm super okay with. Like super, but
let me ask this question to everyone. Let me ask this question to everyone. What is one thing that you've discovered about yourself during this time that you didn't know and probably wouldn't have figured out if you didn't have so much time with yourself? Everybody don't speak at once. Well, Soraya, your life didn't change, but
yeah, I was about to say I haven't had any time with myself, so my life hasn't changed. What I discovered, well, I won't even have discovered this, but I'm at my wit's end because I haven't had a vacation or a break, and usually I would have traveled a couple of times now. So I discovered that I'm burnt the fuck out. But other than that, nothing new. Aaron?
Well, COVID was a blessing in disguise for me. So I've been working from home, but I had all this extra time. So I started piano lessons. I got into the stock market. I started a business, and I technically have a second job. Like, this has been like a huge blessing for me. I've developed skills I didn't know I had. So, I mean, it's terrible, but hell, I made the best. I will say I made the best out of it, what I was dealt. So, yeah. But I have my days also. I'm used to traveling often, and I haven't been anywhere in almost a year now. So,
has it been almost a year?
Well, okay, 8 months? It might as well be a year.
Feels like a year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same. I had a few trips that I was supposed to be going on, and I still held out for Florida. That was the only trip I didn't cancel because it was in the U.S. and yeah, had ended up canceling that too. So I for sure missed the traveling. What I found out about myself is that I need to be around people more than I'd like to admit. I miss my coworkers. I
like that too.
I miss the interactions. I miss talking to people. I miss the routine of things. I miss being able to go to work, and then when I'm done with work, leave work there and, go into my regular life. Yeah, I miss that. I miss being in a building. I miss getting up, going someplace in the morning, because going to the living room or now going to my spare bedroom to work is this 2 feet from my regular room. I'm not going nowhere. I save a lot of money in gas, but I really didn't work far from home anyway.
I really got used to that. I was come on now, I can't work from home every day, but now, yeah, it's a wrap. I'm not.
You made the best of it for sure, and you kind of almost did it. I don't say did it right and negating did all that stuff, but you seized the opportunity, so that was good for you, Aaron.
I can't even imagine going back to the office.
Yeah, I was about to say you probably don't want to go back to work. Probably do.
Are they gonna make you? Has it been a discussion to make you all go back?
Oh, we got an email talking about how would you feel? Please fill out this survey. How would you feel about going back into the office September 8th? I filled out the survey. I was like, I won't feel comfortable until there's a vaccine.
The hell no.
Oh, yeah. No, absolutely not. I have no purpose of being in the office anyway. I don't actually need to see these people to work. Like it's
Mhm.
been fine. I miss them, but the rate I'm going, it'll throw a wrench in what I'm doing right now if I go. So
You over there moonlighting and shit.
look,
You want to share what you're doing?
trying to get this bread. I'm doing some product management stuff, which I knew about, but I like am developing a whole nother skill. Like analytics is my thing, but now like doing like product management, that's a whole nother like part of like website management stuff. Like that's just something else I can add to my resume. So, yeah, one of my friends made a comment was like, make sure you're recession proof. I was like, you know what, you right.
Yeah.
Like no matter what's going on, I'm going to always have a job. Like I'm gonna make sure of that. So.
I like that. Well,
How have you been?
initially, COVID for me was, it was like, whatever, let's just see what happened. I got to work from home now, whatever. To be honest, it's driving me nuts because I can't go anywhere. I think working from home has always been like a desire. Like, I want to work from home. I can kind of get things done and whatever. I have that, but I can't go anywhere. I go to my living room after it's over with. So now I can't be separate.
They gave you one and took back the other.
Right, so I can't separate. It's like how they say church and state. I can't separate things. So I'll get an email while I'm watching TV like, I ain't got nothing else to do. Might as well respond to the email and walk right to my, you know what I'm saying? Walk right to my desk, or, you know, find myself, like Tiff was saying, you can't, sometimes you just really can't turn on work now because it's always around me. It's always something going on. I feel like I'm engulfed in it. So that part has been driving me a little crazy. Like for a moment, like the highlight of my day was going to the trash can. Like I made it a point to take the trash out every day because I need to get out the house. So, you know, but, you know, it allowed me to, of course, get back into working out and like riding my bike and doing different things. So it's opened other doors for me that weren't available. So I appreciate it for that. And it allowed me to do some kind of soul searching and you know, looking at what I want to do, and also thinking about the end goal and also just longevity, because for this, one of the goals was to, of course, open a brick and mortar for a studio. And now with COVID being the way that it is, you know, I don't know if that's something that's going to be the thing anymore, or if that's going to be even necessary. I hope Tiff's not dying. Right.
I'm laughing because she muted the mic to do it.
I'm happy she muted it though.
I was struggling, like I gotta find that
I did
quick.
a double take. I'm like, is she all right?
I'm talking. I'm like, well, wait. Do I need to keep talking? Because she turns to the side
And you home alone too?
like, like Jesus Christ.
Step over.
Oh man.
Man, we might have to go do a wellness check after this is over.
That was too.
It was hard too. Like she was,
Jeff, but I was like, I can't ignore.
yeah, like I was talking and watching like.
It was bad because I had to. I was like, okay, hold it so you can get to the mute button.
Jesus Christ! Glad you're okay.
Oh man.
But
You had to mute.
over there turning red trying to find him, but you like,
Like, please, I don't want this on the recording.
oh baby, sweet baby Jesus. But yeah, so it was, just a lot of different things have happened for me. But they started sending out those same surveys. Are you ready to go back to the office? And I'm indifferent about it now. Like I don't necessarily enjoy having to be at home and can't leave. But I'm not trying to be in a hospital. I'm not trying to, I'm not saying it's going to happen to me like that or whatever, but I'm not even trying to deal with it. And because of the fact that people can carry the virus and it be dormant and not affect them, we just don't know. So, that's a concern for me. And also, I'm going to be honest, man, like this saving this extra hour in the morning for transition back and forth to work, it's something nice, man. It's
lovely.
It's something real nice, and they also.
I would have spent getting dressed for work.
Oh man, like just the time.
Like I work out before I start my work day, and now it's done. Like
Soraya, you might want to like mute everything because
I'm sitting here like fuck all
apply to you. But I mean, like that time, like you just never really know, all of that and how that getting that time back, and then just the availability, like where I work, I didn't have the flexibility at this particular job to, like, if I need to run to the cleaners to pick up something or whatever the case may be. Like when I'm at work, when we at work. Like you leave because we have to park so far away from the job. So it's like it's not even an option to like run a little errand. So like on lunch now I can run, pick up this and do this and whatever the case may be. So it just gives me a lot of more flexibility that I'm used to. But however, it's still kind of driving me crazy a little bit. Like just these four walls, they be closing in sometimes. It gets a little stressful. But I mean, we gonna make it work. So
yeah, we've been doing it for months now.
3 months. Like literally, when we went out, they said we're gonna be gone for 2 weeks to turn this to almost 4 months.
Yeah, right.
So I mean, it is what it is.
For my job, I don't think that we're going back anytime soon. They told us everybody wouldn't even start going back to the building until we're post-pandemic, until the governor says that we're post-pandemic.
Oh, wow.
I mean, that's the safest way. Just like they trying to like reopen schools for what?
Yeah, they don't need to do that.
Kids are the germiest. Like,
yeah, they
that's
definitely
rough.
don't do that.
That's a terrible idea.
I feel so bad for parents who have to choose between sending their kids back to school and them going to work. Because,
Yeah.
I mean, oftentimes, like your grandparents are your childcare for parents after school. You don't want to send your kid who's already germing to their grandparents' house and potentially get them sick, causing them issues. It's a really, really unfortunate and sad situation.
Yeah, it's not a good idea to send them back at all. And then to say like, oh, they'll wear a mask and they'll distance, like they're kids. They're not going to do that by
They'll
any means.
probably lick their hand.
Yeah, sharing masks. Oh, like you're
Right.
better. Let me trade.
They
Like,
eat after each other. Like, come on now. Like, you giving kids way too much responsibility, and I mean at even teenagers.
yeah,
Like, no.
it just don't feel right. Like
They're not thinking far ahead enough, right? They thinking like, oh, I'll be good. You might be good. When you get around
most teachers are like older. I mean, we have some young ones, but you have a lot of older teachers who have ailments themselves. So you putting them
They
at
have
risk.
compromised immune systems already.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, a lot of people walking around, period, have, you know, things that they're already dealing with on a day-to-day basis. You know what I'm saying? Just simple, things that we may think to be something that they're managing and that they have a control on, but it's weakening their immune system. So now you're putting them in a situation with something we don't even know what, like this thing keeps morphing. Like, so we don't even have no type of control or idea of what it could be. And you're talking about just putting people in that type of situation. It's crazy. So,
like, you're at a higher risk if you have diabetes, and diabetes is not an old person disease.
No, my nephew has diabetes, and he's not even 10 yet.
Right.
Yeah.
Like type 2?
Yeah, he takes a shot.
No, he got type 1.
Oh, okay. Well, then that's...
Who, Lorel?
Yeah. Was he born with it?
I think so, because they,
Probably type 1. Yeah.
But they take shots too, though, right?
Correct. They're more likely to. At any rate, though, so like if this is the new normal, how do y'all feel about life moving forward in terms of being out in public? I know not the business industry. I know you went to a restaurant or something like that recently. Like, how was that? What's that experience like?
Who went to a restaurant? Who?
Really?
Yeah.
You talking about, I ain't going nowhere, I get my grocery delivered herself?
Stop.
They
forced everybody had to social distance. First, it wasn't like a bar or something like that. Like, it was a restaurant, and I wore a mask.
What's the difference?
Huh?
What's the difference?
It is a big difference. A bar would be more like we like standing around on some kind of dance floor possibly, or everybody crowded around the bar. Like, they moved my chair like 6 feet away from the other guy.
Somebody could have definitely walked past you and sneezed on you. So what's the difference?
I had on a mask.
Okay, so how was that
I
experience?
gotta get out a little bit. You're right. When this first started, I was that one. Like, I'm not leaving the house. I got my groceries delivered for probably over a month. Like, I didn't leave. Like, I gotta leave a little. I just canceled a flight today because I didn't think it was a good idea. Like,
No, I'm not knocking the
I'm
fact
in
that you need to
between- I'm
leave
in
out.
between. I gotta
I'm
get out a
just
little bit, but I gotta be careful and stay at home. I've been at home more than most people.
Nobody's shooting.
no, you really
Relax.
not.
Okay.
Oh, shut up.
Ain't nobody shooting.
Yeah.
I was just making a joke.
So was it a good experience, or was it satisfactory? I don't know if I want to
I
use the
mean,
word
yeah,
good.
it was just,
Or was it weird?
it's like a little dark cloud hanging over my head. The fact that I can't just like walk in, sit down, talk. I gotta let people walk by me, right? Like if somebody, like if it's like a skinny little hallway or something like that, or at least that's what I do, right? I stand there until the person walks by. I'm not gonna walk like right close up on you. You get what I'm saying? Or I'll let you come out the bathroom door, and then I'll walk in after instead of us swapping space. I want to give people their space in public. I do that in the grocery store. Like, if you're looking at something, I'll wait as if there's a line until you move. So I give people.
Once you sit down, you take your mask off and you good to go.
Wait, what?
So once you sit down, you take your mask off and you good to go, or like, are you just
I
taking
mean,
it off to take a sip or a bite, or?
I mean, if you're eating, you have to. But I mean, I left it on for like most of the time. But I heard somebody told a customer like, "Oh, when you sit down, yeah, you're good to go." Like, I wouldn't tell anyone like, "Oh, take your mask off."
No, some I've heard that too. Like some restaurants are saying once you're like in the booth or in the table, they say that the mask is not required.
I mean, I guess you're just sharing technically germs with whoever
you're with.
But
No, I said because like I went by the mall and it was just weird being in there. Like everybody has on masks, or mostly everybody, and it was just odd. Like I didn't feel good being in there. I left very shortly thereafter. Like this is weird.
I mean, it's just weird. Period. Like just walking around, it's just odd to me walking around. It's like a movie when you're just walking around seeing people with masks on and they come in and going, and it's
like,
just,
this is real.
yeah, it just don't seem like something. It seemed like something that you would see in a movie. Like we're walking around every day. Like today, I went to the bank, and they're doing everything by appointment. And you go into these places now, and they all have, So what?
I didn't know at the bank you have to make an appointment.
Oh yeah, to go in.
Like you can't talk to a banker. You got to make an appointment.
So you got like the Secretary of State opened up back in June. I didn't know, and you have to make an appointment for that also. And they only doing specific things.
I ain't renewed my tabs yet.
Oh yeah, you might want to do that because they ain't giving too much leniency because they got these kiosks. So you might want to do that. I got to go renew my license, and I couldn't do it until they open back up because I have an enhanced license. So but yeah, you got to make appointments for pretty much everything. Like I'm in the bank, and they had the door locked. Like security guard was standing at the door. When you walk to the door, you yank on it. He like, "What's up? What you need?"
To get in, sir?
What you here for? I got an appointment with who? Such and such. For what? Oh, okay, come on in. Then he goes verify your appointment, then he come back and let you in. And if you're coming to make a deposit or withdrawal, you have to state that. Yeah, I'm coming to do X, Y, and Z. All right, cool. And they let the door stays locked. So it's crazy. Huh?
Who you bank with?
So it was me, doing my, my due diligence, and I opened up a bank with opened up an account with First Independent, the Black Bank. So
nice.
Yeah, so
There's my hair.
Yeah, it's the only one here. It's only it's in Detroit.
Oh,
It's only three. That's it.
So it's a black. Tell everybody what it is again.
It's a black-owned bank, First Independent.
Okay.
Yeah, First Independent Bank. So trying to do my keep my money in the circle, and I went and opened up
in the circle.
Keep it in the circle. So I went and opened up a couple accounts there today, and like when I was sitting there, they had the screen like you're all that, like you see that everywhere now. It's hanging from the ceiling and sitting up on the desk. Like I just never thought there would be a moment when I'm sitting down in something that's supposed to be like a face-to-face interaction, and now I got this bulletproof glass. It ain't bulletproof glass, but this plexiglass right in between me and this person, and we like interacting through this little slot at the bottom. Like, all right, put it down. You pick it up. I put it down. You like, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy.
It doesn't. I'm okay with like the mask. I'm okay with the plexiglass and all of that. Like, it wasn't really a huge thing for me. It was just something more that we had to do. Like, I don't care to wear a mask when I'm out, but I don't mind doing it. I don't look at it.
I do it. Like, definitely do it. I don't have an issue. Like it. I got to get some culture cure mask with the ventilation because it'd be hard to breathe sometime. But
Man, I ain't been around my dad without a mask since this started. Like, every time I even go over his house, like, I'm masked up. Like, all it takes is that one time.
You should be.
Okay. I feel like I was on it more so at the beginning of COVID. I was really like, whatever I brought into the house, I would Lysol down. All the bags would get thrown away.
Getting a little lax now, huh?
I mean, I don't wear shoes in my house anyway, but like everything, it was almost all clothes will be left at the door, and then I could come upstairs. Like, then I could come into the house. Now it's just kind of, I mean, I wash my hands. I be like, when I come in the house,
it's kind of like how they say
we have without it. It's more like, okay, maybe I'll make another one. Maybe I'll like.
It's kind of like how they say with your first baby, you be like, oh my God, and then the second one you be like, all right, yeah, just take that.
Huh? I was making a joke, but.
Oh yeah, we missed it.
Nope.
All right, so moving forward, let's get into a little foolery. So, Will and Jada, Red Table Talk. What are your comments?
It was so awkward to watch.
I still haven't watched it. That's crazy, but I heard enough about it to know
I watched a little bit.
The key points.
It's only 13 minutes.
It's how many?
Look,
13 minutes.
It's a lot of time.
I watched a minute and a half of the part about her saying she wanted to feel good and.
Well, first, how do y'all feel about him coming out with the information? Like,
he got an album that dropped.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he came out with the information.
I didn't see the interview, but I felt the same way. And then somebody was telling me, like, basically, it was a whole interview where he talked about multiple things in his whole life. And obviously that was a part of it. But that was the clip that blew up. So.
That was a publicity stunt. He been off the scene for however long.
You brought up something that happened so long ago. It wasn't like it.
He told his whole life story though, so he probably told stuff that happened before that.
But you could have kept that out.
I'm not saying it's okay. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You ain't have to rock them people world like that. You could have kept that out. You knew that, like, everything, because look at it. Everything else in his hour-long interview is nowhere. Nowhere else. Like, nothing about his.
But is that his fault?
What?
You agree? You thought that
No. By no means do I think he should have said anything. But is that his fault that if he told everything, but that was part that blew up?
Oh no!
That was intentional. Yes, it's his fault. He know exactly what was gonna happen.
Y'all honestly don't think they discussed this before he had the interview?
Oh, probably.
Right, and then she knew she was gonna have a Red Table Talk episode after his interview.
Oh, do you think he discussed it with?
I don't think Will knew nothing about this coming out.
Yeah, he probably did. Yeah, Jada, she seemed very comfortable.
Yeah. I just be with his wife, but then you're not gonna ask, is it okay to say something to the public about it?
Well, Will said that. And some people say he's lying, but Will said that he never had that conversation with August Alsina. He never said, oh, okay, or he said, I never gave permission. So,
yeah, that's some play.
I mean, that could be false, but he said, I never gave permission.
So. I never gave permission. It was more so like, well, if you're going to do what you, I mean, I could tell somebody like, oh, if you're going to do what you're going to do, I can't stop you. That's not me giving permission. I still know it's going to happen. I was made aware of it.
Yeah, I would say I'm pretty sure he knew. Like he admitted that he knew. But
yeah. Tiff, you have something to say?
I just think August Alsina is a simp. No, I mean, I wholeheartedly, like, I feel like Will and Jada probably was going through whatever they were going through in their relationship, right? Like, I personally think Will probably got women out there that he was knocking off, but
Yeah,
they
but they
probably
know
had
how
as
to keep
much
out shut.
moves as him, or they just know how to keep their mouths closed.
Right.
Or maybe he made like non-disclosure agreements, and Jada trusted August, thought that he was something that he wasn't. I don't think that it was necessary for him to tell his story to blow up someone else's life like that.
Hmm.
Like, now you're forcing these people to come out and have to address something that they've
They
moved.
obviously don't want to talk about.
Well, it's not even necessarily that they don't want to talk about, but like they've moved past it. And I understand standing in your truth. I understand all of that. But like, to knowingly put someone out there that you loved, and to say that like you know what it was like to love a real woman. You go through all that, but you know, she loved the man she with. Like,
Hmm.
you were fun, but she loves that man. Let her go on and live her life. Go on about her business. Like, I don't know. I just think
She
that
behaved like somebody scorned.
Let
he
sleeping
sounds
dogs
like a
lie.
scorned woman.
Yeah.
I,
I
I,
didn't want to say woman. I didn't want to sign that to a
Hey,
gender, but
well, he looks like one too.
I mean,
he
he
said he had that Keisha Cole hair.
the hair, that's the scorned woman hair.
Oh,
No, but no, he definitely shouldn't have said anything. And take your win or whatever you felt it was and
It was
go.
all it was all for this album that y'all still ain't heard nothing about.
right.
I haven't even heard the song with Rick Ross.
I haven't
Right.
either.
It's all about for this album that he'd have been off the scene for too long, man. We got too many lollipop artists out here now for you. Like, it's over, baby. It's over.
But
Yeah,
it was very awkward to watch. It was clear that
The probably was
Will was
quiet.
irritated. It was clear that he did not want to do that.
Yeah, his faces might have took over Jordan's crying face.
Yeah. I mean, I felt bad for him because he looked like that the entire time. Like,
Like he was sick to his stomach.
yeah, like what the fuck,
Honestly,
I mean, because who wants to sit
Yeah.
there and talk about your wife? Though you may have known about it or not, that was a period in you all's relationship that you don't want to have
Yeah.
to constantly revisit, that you guys have gotten over. Because if you hear him talk about their relationship, he's like, I'm never leaving her. We
Yeah.
have been battle tested.
Hmm.
So what the fuck did y'all think that meant? Like, when he said that before August Alsina came out with this, and he said they have been battle tested, what you thought they just had rough nights? No, somebody did something in the relationship. They had issues in the relationship. Somebody went outside. And for my issue, not issue, but my thing is they were broken up at the time.
Yeah.
So what did she really do
Like he
something
was like,
wrong?
I didn't think I would ever talk to you again. Like
Yeah.
at that point, like so.
Yeah.
So you thinking that you never getting back with this man? Somebody's just gonna file the paperwork, maybe, or y'all just gonna have that type of situation where nobody really files, but y'all do y'all own thing. Why was it not okay for her to go and
Yeah.
be
And
with
I mean,
someone
it probably was, but it's like Will and Jada, they have their rumors that go around, but I think all in all, they've done a pretty good job of maintaining a respectable
Oh
reputation.
yeah.
Like, so now that something like that comes out, it's like, come on, man, what the fuck? Like we done
can't
gone this
control?
long, and now
They
here we
can't control
go.
the narrative. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm sure it was that more than anything.
What do y'all think about people saying that she's a predator?
I
Elaborate
haven't
a little more. What do you mean?
So
Like,
people
heard
are
that.
like legit calling her a predator, that he
Yeah,
was,
they are.
although he was an adult, like they're looking at August
Like he
Alsina
made
as he was
mistakes.
vulnerable, and she preyed on him. She was supposed to be helping him get over like his physical ailments, his mental health issue, all of these things that were going on with him. She came in like a savior to fix that, and then ended up smashing.
Yeah, I wouldn't call her a predator. I see where they're pulling this from because that narrative happens a lot in terms of even reverse, even if it's reverse, male or female, you do take some sort of role in that, like participating for a certain amount of time. Like I'm not saying that he's totally at fault or wrong or whatever, because I don't know the details of their relationship. But I wouldn't say she's a predator.
I mean, but that's a lot of situations though. Like the guy is upset, or the woman is upset, and there's a friend around, there's someone there to help build them back up, or help them get back to their ground zero, and then it becomes a situationship, and you fall for that person. Like, that happens a lot. So unless she was playing a mother role before, then I don't see how she can be looked at as a predator. Like,
because I think that they're saying that she was playing the mother role. Like, she was a friend, or I'm sorry, August was a friend of either Jaden or Willow, and was like seeking help, and she kind of was taking him under her wing.
So
don't get me to lie.
That's another thing I thought about with Will. I thought that was the dynamic, like, because I don't think he's much older than Trey, or if he's older than Trey. And I thought that was like the dynamic, like he was in the house, he kind of looked at him as maybe, his kid's age or whatever the case may be. And then all of a sudden you busting down my wife. So I don't know.
When you put it that way.
So
you said he's 27.
August Alsina is 27, according to Google.
No, he was that young.
No.
What?
And Jade.
I mean, he almost 30. Is it?
In my mind, no, I thought he was closer to our age, I guess.
27?
I'm thinking of Trey Songz.
Jade is 22.
He 27?
Is it that? I thought he was younger.
I thought he was much older.
Older, not much.
Yeah, we can't see that. No, we can't see that. No. I'll pull it up.
Yeah, it says that he's.
We're gonna take your word for it. However,
born September 3rd,
1930. 30, you in your late 20s. I mean, it ain't like he just turned 21.
I mean, he's definitely a sound mind and make.
How old is Jada?
Was she 40?
That'd be late 40s, mid to late 40s.
She's 48.
Okay.
Say born in 92.
Well,
it's the same thing as a guy. You got a lot of people in most people's family that they grandfather is 10 years older than their grandmother. So
yeah,
more than 10, but yeah, you right.
If we count, like,
right? So 15, 20 years older. You know what I'm saying? So not to be out there, I was talking to a client and I was putting them both on the loan, and he was 60 and she was 30, and I'm like, she was born in 80. What?
Get your paper, sir. Get your paper, young girl.
I was when they was telling me the information, I'm like, wait, you said 86? I'm 85. You just said you was born in 40 something. All right, cool. Let's just keep going here.
I don't get it.
It ain't for me, I tell you that.
Ain't no 60-year-old out there that looks like my age. Like,
it might be. Did you ever see?
What do you say? He got to look your age?
Did you ever see that?
I'm not attracted to old-looking men. So
wait, he might not look old unless he just had. Because there was a guy out here called Jeffrey. There was a guy named Jeffrey Life. Shout out to the name Jeffrey. And he was like 60-something, 70-something years old. And he was built like he was 20-something. The only reason you knew he was old because he had a full head of gray hair.
It's some old dudes out there.
It's an old clue somewhere on that body.
That's the word.
On the face, or the way that they dress, the way that they talk, something lets you know.
He might call you,
yeah,
his little one thing or something. He might be girl.
He's calling dudes cats.
Hey, how you doing over there, baby?
Yeah, it's always a hint somewhere.
What you doing over there, baby?
God.
How you doing, player? All right.
But everybody attracted to something different. So young girls might be attracted to the old man, and it could be a genuine attraction as opposed to
or a daddy issue. Keep going.
Oh.
Don't do that.
I'm just saying.
I mean, I acknowledge that some girls probably do have daddy issues, but that doesn't necessarily mean that all girls with
And
age
or I
want to
said
go.
So
or
what gap is too old for y'all?
or.
Like, what's the cutoff? How many years you willing to go?
How old am I?
You don't
How
have to
many
give me
years
an
have I
age. You
gone?
can say 5 years,
You're
10.
you're Aaron, you're 40, so about 45,
That's
50.
a whole lie. If you're in your 40s, then I probably don't want you.
Okay. Yes.
You gonna
Well,
plead the you gonna
look
plead
at
the
this.
Funny.
you gonna plead the fifth on this one too? You want to just move the conversation?
Pick a number. 55.
Well, is the question
How old
But
will
I'm-
you go?
but I'm currently willing to
First of all,
go?
don't tell your business.
How old will you? Like will
How
you?
old
Like
will you?
like there has to be a cap.
Ooh, we had to catch that one. She almost.
Yeah, she was like, well, right now he just got that new caddy, so
That Social Security coming in.
and that Ford pension,
Yeah.
all at the same time. One come on the first, one come on the third.
I say 50.
Ain't no way.
I'd go that high.
Okay.
Nah.
But you got to keep in mind,
Be
50
closer
is
to my
also
mama's
not
age
your
than
granddaddy's age, right?
You said what?
50 is also not your granddaddy's age.
It ain't. It's
It's
still.
my mama's or close to it.
My mom's older, so.
I mean, mine is too, but no.
Yeah, 50 is around my daddy's age.
Sorry.
Maybe because I got older parents, so.
Cool girl, but I don't want nobody that's more than 5 years older than me.
Yeah, I would say 5 is a good safe space. Maybe 10 at the most, but I don't even see that happening, to be honest with you.
So you talk to a 45-year-old?
High school.
Would I? I don't know. It depends on how they look.
Always boil down to one thing. So when guys be looking for that same one thing, it's a problem. But it all boils down
First
to
of all,
one thing.
I didn't say, yeah, the preference is the preference, but I said how they look. I didn't say they had to look a certain way. Like, how they look to me, oh, you know, his hair is dark or salt and pepper or he just doesn't have wrinkles. It doesn't mean like skinny, fat, muscular.
Don't have wrinkles. Wrinkles are a no-go for you.
Hell no.
All right, cool. You right. Cool.
I thought about an episode of Sex and the City. That old man and them old balls and his butt was drooping. Yeah, I can't. I can't do it.
That loose skin?
Wolf, nah. Anything
Jeff,
gotta
what
be
you about to say?
Jeff, would you be out here with a cougar?
Oh yeah.
Is
So
this
what's the
thing on?
cutoff age?
Hello?
I said I have.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
How old is the cougar though?
This was when I was in college. She was like 20 years older than me.
I'll flip the
What?
computer over.
I mean, huh? You said what? I mean, 40 and I was 20.
You was just using her for laundry. Cause I don't know why you going over there washing clothes and getting
She had good washing powder. She could afford Tide.
right.
I mean, I like all you all are trying to give all these specifics like, oh, it's not wrinkles, it's this. It all depends on, like you said, how they look. Because if they don't look their age, then it don't mean anything. But I'm like, at me being 35, I'm not dating nobody 70 or, you know, I'm not dating nobody. I mean, I probably wouldn't date nobody. I can't say I wouldn't date nobody my father's age because, like I said, it depends on how she look.
Nah, I would feel weird if you close to my mom's age. Like, nah.
I guess it's different for a guy.
Appropriate.
I guess
Feel
it's
inappropriate.
different for a guy.
I went on a date with someone who was like maybe 11 years older than me, and that felt weird. And he didn't look like it, but it just felt weird.
So if he had lied to you about his age and then like came out after you caught feelings, would you have left him alone?
Probably. Well, no, I don't know. I would have been mad that you lied.
Yeah.
But
It
I had
seems
a man
so
lie to me about
hard
his
when
age.
she put it that way, but because I didn't feel
Yeah.
for you now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like she said, he didn't look 11 years older. So if he didn't look 11 years older, and he's like, no, I'm only like, whatever, 5 years older. And okay, cool. And then
But
you
there's a
have to.
difference though. She was probably in her 20s and he was in
Yeah.
his 30s. Like that.
You ever had somebody tell you something like that though, and now you can tell their age? Like you start noticing shit. Like after they tell you, like, damn, I ain't see this. So
Because
I
it
talked
didn't
to a
matter.
guy who was 13 years older than me, which was already like, okay, whatever. Come to find out, he was closer to 20 years older than me because he lied about his age for a very long time.
How you find out you crossed over AARP card or something?
Yes.
No, it was
Yes.
because I don't want to say how I found out.
You put that ID down, you was getting carded, and you looked at the
It was-
date like,
It was by
30?
nothing. It was nothing by he did. It's because I'm really good at finding information.
You was being nosy.
I find
Right.
what I need to find.
You went through the man's wallet.
wow.
Oh no, like
Wow.
no.
you saw some prescription.
The computer will tell you everything you need to know.
Like,
You just gotta know where to look.
I mean, the prescription to give it away, it's got your whole birth date on it. So
No. A few Googles, a few,
All right.
access.
So, moving along here. So there's been a lot of crazy things going on in the state of Michigan, and I kind of want your all's feedback. So the first thing we will talk about is, let me see if I can pull up the video, and then we'll play the video, and then from there, everyone can post their own opinion. But the scenario is pretty much a young lady was, I guess, up in arms about whatever, and decided to go and retaliate on, I guess, her ex-boyfriend's vehicle. And it didn't turn out as well as she thought it was going to turn out. So
I feel like I'm watching the news.
oh no.
Every single time I see this video, I watch it 100 times, like nonstop.
Be politically
See, and y'all are crazy because the first time I saw it, I didn't laugh. I was genuinely concerned. Like,
Watching start cracking up.
I was rolling.
I didn't laugh. I was like, oh my God. Like,
The way she hopped back up, she took it like a G. Hopped back up, got the evidence, and kept it
she
moving.
didn't have a nose anymore. Like, I was really.
I'm like, girl, you still able to walk?
I was in tears, like, because it was almost like pop goes the weasel went pop.
I was
The fact that you don't know that gasoline ignites like that.
But here, like, it was.
But it exploded.
They've been watching too many movies.
That's
Yeah.
what
About Waiting
happened.
to Exhale, it blew up when she was walking away. Right.
Yeah. But see, it's a difference there, though. And I think that wasn't at a drop top. Like, oxygen was around, it was able to breathe. You can't put gasoline, which has vapors that can ignite, in a closed area, and then take a long lighter to try to go in.
That also has further fuel in it.
Like,
I think she threw like a cigarette or a match. Like, it wasn't.
She didn't throw anything in there. She put
Right.
her arm in there with the
That's what I'm saying. So she probably thought it was gonna be like a movie like that. Like, oh, it'll be a slow burn.
Oh, girl.
No. Like I was genuinely concerned.
How far would her body have blown if that other car wasn't there?
You ain't shit.
But
I need to see this again. Jeff, what's going on? Because I think I've only seen it once. Because I was just like,
give me 1 second. I'm having some technical difficulties.
all of that.
All right, I got it. Give me 1 second.
oh Lord.
Oh, Tiffany.
All right, so we're here, and can you all see that?
Yep.
Yes.
All right.
Actually, no.
So now it's still enclosed.
Oh God. I get nervous.
Like,
Shit. Who was recording this?
My man that lives upstairs, he jumped too.
He also didn't expect that to happen.
Somebody said she
I
played.
just want to know what somebody has done to you. Like, I ain't never experienced that type of anger or those
Wow.
type of feelings to go set somebody's car on fire. Like,
And then we
Yeah.
wonder why people call females irrational and emotional. All right, Jeff. I'm just saying.
Nah, it would be
I know
crazy.
men
if
are
it was
too, believe me,
Yeah.
because
It
men
would
will
be
They
go
are, but
nasty.
you don't hear about no man blowing up no woman's car.
They
No.
will beat the woman up.
or kill them. So let's not negate that. However, yeah, that
It's a little different.
ain't nothing that you can do to make me do that. Like it ain't never that deep.
Nothing.
I can't even fathom, even if he got like your sister pregnant, that type of anger to go blow up a car. I just
Well, yeah.
No. Well,
Yeah.
anyway, let me shut up. That's fine. I believe in an eye for an eye, so
Dang. Oh,
I'll get you back. But it ain't gonna be that.
you believe in eye for an eye, so that means you're what? Gonna get pregnant by his brother?
Oh no, I'm not saying like that. But I mean, if you cheat, then I'm probably gonna cheat back. Like,
Oh,
just want to play the same game.
well,
But here's the thing that's
Well-
interesting. When a guy does it, it's like, well, why you ain't just leave? Well, why wouldn't you just leave? Like, I don't understand.
no. Now we both have a decision to make. So what you want to do?
You want to play this? We will and date her, or you leave her? How you
What's
feel?
up?
Choice is yours, Playboy.
You know
We
what
can
this?
come to the table.
You know what this?
that word?
You know what this remind me of? That scene from Why Did I Get Married? And she was like, no, you got it from Roger. He was like, what? I ain't gay. And he was like, no, I slept with him. I been got a shot.
All right.
Boom. And guess what he did?
Mood though. Like, that's all that is.
I knew you was messing around. This is my way to catch you. Because if you wasn't messing around, you would know you got it from me. Like, what?
Yeah. I ain't about to go catch nothing, but the point is,
We're not saying you plan to catch something. Mess around because you want to go eye for eye. Now you done caught something.
you can't be running if you cheating. That's where men mess up at. And with sad baby.
Got another word?
I'm preaching today.
Right.
That baby preaching today.
Steph is so confused. He's like, what is this?
You better
No, I was reading something. They might pay no attention.
Somebody better listen.
Might pay no attention.
Don't know.
Okay, so change the narrative a little bit. So there's something happening here, of course, at a local restaurant, and I guess we kind of just wanted to kind of talk about the response, I guess, not more so. I really don't want to like keep bringing light to the situation, but you know there were a lot of murders. A lot. It was 7 over the weekend, and you know one in particular, you know, of course, went viral because the video got up of how it happened. And I guess the question that we were talking about earlier was, is that type of response ever okay? So there are a couple of different narratives about what happened. So let's just put the narrative out, right? So supposedly you got into an altercation with someone earlier in the day, and maybe
What are we talking about? Like, explain
Tell what the video was about first.
Okay. So
Don't show it.
I am not going to show it. So there was a video from a security video from a restaurant where there was a guy. It looks like with him and his girl. They was placing an order. There's a couple other guys to the left of him, and you can't really hear what's being said, but obviously words were exchanged, and then he pulls out a gun and he kills, I think, 3 of them. and he, of course, injures one of them. And there are a couple of, narratives that have been, of course, going around the city about what happened. So one of the narratives is that they got into an altercation earlier that day, and I guess they, pistol whip him, beat him up, or whatever the case may be. And now, he sees them, and this was his response.
And they say that like they didn't realize it was him, so maybe it was like a random.
So let's start with that narrative.
I heard different from that. I heard that he was supposed to be pistol whipped and put into a coma like a year ago.
Okay, so let's say it was that. So let's say regardless. So now you have come across the people who did these type of things to you, right? Do you all agree with that response?
No. Mm-mm. No, he like shot them point blank. Like I was so mad that I saw that video. The person who posted it that I saw, like it wasn't a warning on it. Usually when I see warnings, I don't click it because I don't like to see stuff like that. But I was just scrolling, so I actually saw the whole thing, and it just made me sick to my stomach. Yeah. So regardless of what happened, like I get being upset, but to just stand there and shoot 4 people point blank in such a small space, like I don't know how the 4th person survived, but he literally like got up close on them and shot them in the face.
Well, one person ran, so I think that could have been the person that survived, because it was somebody that was closer to the door and was able to get out. So I think
all of them were together.
You think all of them were together?
I think he shot someone outside or like going out. I didn't see the video, so I just thought that the 2 cousins that were killed, it was a brother, a stepbrother, and then a cousin. The cousin survived. The brother and stepbrother are both deceased, and then he shot somebody on the way out who was
so it was 4 guys. 2 guys were sitting down. 1 guy was kind of standing up. Another guy got up to. 2 guys were standing up and 1 guy was sitting down. And they got up and kind of walked towards the other side of the building. So once he stood up, that's when he shot those 3. There was another guy that was closest to the door, and he ran out, and he shot at him as he was running out. So I think that's probably the person that survived, because in the video, everybody else wasn't moving.
But is there ever a situation where that type of violence is your response?
The only time I have to respond like that is if I feel if my life is about to be ended. That's it. It has to be a mere you situation in that moment. It has to be a mere moment. Right.
So, no, I don't. See, I have issues with guns anyways, but I also think you're taking on, people don't look at it this way, I don't think. You're taking on even more responsibility to care about life if you have the ability to take it away so quickly, and people don't do that. Like, I think you should be the one with, like, how can I say, you should be the one where like nothing really can like break you, like, even though things can, right? You should be a little bit more emotionally stable, considering the fact that you have a weapon that could take away someone's life. Right. Now, if you that type of, you like a loose cannon, no, you don't need a gun.
I mean, yeah, but who polices that? If you're up to
nobody, and that's the scary part about it. That's another reason why I don't like guns, right? Because all these people around here have guns, and basically I have to, in a way, trust you to not decide to lose it and just shoot me because.
Yeah, that's the wild question. So one of my friends, she made the point of, she was like, not saying she agreed with what he did, but I'm saying I hate like to watch point blank like how he did it. And it was like, well, he didn't spray a crowd, like he had targets and he just shot those people. So he calculated with it, I guess, in a way. So was that responsible? I don't know, but
I mean, clearly it was personal. Like,
I think she like the brain would want to hope that it was personal.
Like he literally, it looked like it because he literally went by. Like it wasn't just him doing this. It was very you. Like, ugh,
No, I understand that, but I think that our brains want us to make sense of things.
to
We
rationalize.
Right. So we want to believe that it was personal because it doesn't logically make sense that someone would randomly point blank shoot somebody because there's
Mm-hmm.
no rhyme or reason to that. But
Although it could happen. So
Yeah.
yeah.
exactly. Because somebody could just be off their rocker or have a bad day and
Yeah.
they perceived something and it could happen. But I think everybody's out here making up these narratives or saying what they heard or, they talk to the streets. Don't nobody know what happened except the people who was in there.
Oh, yeah.
Talk to the streets.
I saw a video of this guy talking about, like I'm pretty close to the streets. I talk
Oh,
about, okay, bro. All right.
The streets is not only watching, but they talking now. They got me circling the block before I'm parking now. All right. So now, Aaron's favorite person, Kanye Yeezus for 2020.
a
So,
joke, but we thought Trump was a joke, so.
Well,
I guess the first thing to talk about is how people are responding to his recent outbreak or cry for help or whatever, cry for help, whatever. What do you all think about it?
I would like to first say that mental health is very real. And I think that it's very hard and very unfortunate for people who are suffering from mental health issues to live their life in a very public way. Um, a part of me feels sorry for him in the sense that, like, I think that he's brilliant on musically, right? Like he has this extreme talent in this realm of his life, but he's also suffering from some pretty serious shit that is playing out in a very horrible way. Um, in this, in what's going on right now, I I just think it sucks. I think it's a very, very rough situation for not only him, for his family. I hope that he seeks and gets the help that he needs and takes it serious to get back to being like the Kanye that everybody loves and that, he is outspoken and I'm okay with him being outspoken. He is, like a person who wants to do his own thing, goes against the grain. I'm okay with those type of people. What I'm not okay with is it like him not getting the help that he needs to address his mental health issues. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I agree, and I think like by no means am I like one of those Kardashian fans or anything like that, but the statement that Kim released was very true. Like everything she said, I'm like, she right. So for me, it's just like you said, it's up to see that, and I fully believe what I see from my professional opinion is that he's super manic, and he does that probably around the time that he's creating because everyone talks about, oh, this aligned with his album. But it wouldn't surprise me if he purposely stopped taking medication when it's time to
Yeah.
work on something, because people who are bipolar like being manic because you can get things done, you can function without sleep, you can do all these things, and you kind of OCD-ish. So it probably started like that and it spiraled into what we're seeing now, and he's so far gone that someone's gonna have to reel back in. So I don't think people are really taking him seriously as far as his run for president. But like I said, we thought that about Trump, so you don't want to necessarily throw that down the drain. But for the most part, it seems like a lot of people are taking it as a joke, and hopefully eventually he settles down and will get what he needs.
Soraya, for the people, what did Kim say?
So now you're gonna make me pull this up.
I
I
think
should
her
have been ready.
statement was really dope.
Huh?
It was.
I
I
think
know
her
the
statement
shade
was
room.
super dope. And the fact that like she's standing by her man because it'd be so easy to just peace out. It's not like money is keeping her there. It's not like she has to be with him. And some could argue that like right now he's bringing down her value. So I
Yeah.
feel like a lot of celebrities in that situation would think more about their business side than the personal side and peace out.
Yeah.
But the fact that she's like, I mean,
Yeah, she said for keeping up with the Kardashians, like she doesn't want them filming her kids or him.
yeah,
Oh, well, that's good. And that actually says a lot because I'm surprised by that. I didn't read that she said that, but I'm surprised by that. She posted this on Snapchat, I think. Mm.
Well, I'll go while you looking for that.
Yeah.
Um, I it was disturbing to watch. It bothered me. I felt bad for him, and I mean, I'm gonna pray for him. It's also a part of me. Somebody wrote on Instagram. They made a comment. They was like, um, all these people out here with mental health issues, and they are literally struggling. Like they don't have access to any resources to get help. They're not billionaires. They're literally poor. And these people still get up and go to work every day and still push through without any support or help from anybody. So they were like, get the help you need. And they were like, I don't feel bad for him. I still a part of me that feels bad for him, but it's also a part of me that, I mean, y'all kind of get the vibe of how I am. Like, if you were a millionaire, billionaire, I mean, he brought up even in the rally, like, oh yeah, I was speaking to a fellow billionaire. Like, you have access to the best resources. Like, get the help you need and like take your health serious. Now, I could see what you said, Soraya. I know when people get on like certain kind of medications, it takes away their like creative ability to do, like
Mhm.
if that's what you thrive on, that's who you are, right? You're a creative person. It takes that away. But I mean, but now look what happened, right? His child, North, could eventually down the line like that. If it's on the internet, it's never going away.
Right.
So she could find out years from now that he wanted to abort her. And
Yeah.
that might be a conversation he has to have with her later on. Like, I mean, you just got to prioritize. And I think his health should be more important than him dropping an album.
Anything else? Yeah, that's what I said. I fully like for that people saying they don't feel sorry for him. I can totally believe that he stopped taking meds or what have you on purpose, but probably didn't realize because they usually don't how far it would
it
go
got
and
too
think,
far.
yeah, or think they have some control. I did find what she said. It's kind of long. I'm gonna try to paraphrase, but I'll read some of the important parts. So she said, as many of you know, Kanye has bipolar disorder. Anyone who has this or has a loved one in their life who does knows how incredibly complicated and painful it is to understand. I've never spoken publicly about how this has affected us at home because I am very protective of our children and his right to privacy. Then I'm skipping some stuff. Those that understand mental illness or even compulsive behavior know that the family is powerless unless the member is a minor. People who are unaware or far removed from this experience can be judgmental and not understand that. So that says something too. Like they probably have been trying to help him, but it's nothing they can do. They can't reach him. They can't speak to him. As we see on Twitter or what have you, he's publicly attacking them and stuff
Can't
about them.
restrain him or, take him in either unless he's uh, a threat to
Harm to
basically
himself.
himself or someone else. So him just hollering on stage and crying, that's not worth like, snatching him up and throwing him in the hospital basically.
Yeah,
So
yeah. It's that's what I said. I'm not a huge like, oh, I never watched the show. I never been big on Kardashians. I never really understood how they got to be so famous. But she's right in what she said. Those listening can find it on Instagram, but or even in Google. It's 3 pages long, her statement. But she's right, and it's nothing that you can really do, especially someone like that who probably already exhibits this, as we've seen, this arrogance, even when he is functioning. Okay,
mm,
so you add something on top of that, you gone.
yeah.
I do feel for him. Because of the simple fact that now it's coming to the forefront that of course, mental health is a big thing, and a lot of African Americans are dealing with it. And like Aaron was saying, a lot of people don't have the means to do what's necessary to get the help. And and it's, I guess it's like, it's a catch-22. You know, he's brilliant. Like you want that creative. You want him to keep, you know, pushing that out because it does something for certain people. Like when you have those type of gifts as an artist, you know, and you're sharing that with the world, that's doing something for other people. So a lot of people, of course, want him to keep doing it, but not at this cost. You know, if he has to always almost harm himself, you know, to be that creative, we need to figure out another way. So I do feel for him. I hope he figures it out. I hope somehow, you know, they can figure it out. I hope, you know, his kids are not, you know, damaged much by it, because I mean, they live in the same house with him, so we don't even know what happens behind closed doors.
I thought about that too.
We just know
in public. I wonder.
Right. What he doing?
Yeah, we don't know. We don't know what's happening. You know what I'm saying? If he's doing to these, you know, extents in public. So I pray for him. I pray for them all. I do.
Mm-hmm.
So to kind of go back up on the vibe. So I hear that extra $600 from unemployment is getting cut off tomorrow.
Oh, it's tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are a little upset about it. And a lot of people who, I guess, didn't agree with them getting almost, what, 2,000? It was something crazy.
$2,400 a month.
$2,400 a month to sit down. A lot of people didn't.
In addition to the unemployment. So you still got unemployment.
It's like 3-something.
Yeah, the unemployment
was like pandemic pay. That's
the pandemic was what it was. The unemployment was, you know,
right. Typical like 3-something a week. $390, I guess a week, maybe $392 a week.
Something like that. So they were basically, I guess, getting a couple of racks, like $2,000-$3,000, a little bit over a month, and then a lot of people, because they retro the payment, so people got back pay when they filed, from what I hear. And
lump sums.
Yeah, people got, like, when they got that card, it probably came with $5,000-$6,000 on it immediately. So it's a couple things. The first thing I want to touch on with the whole unemployment situation is, did you all hear that they were saying that the government they lost control because they were sending out cards and sending out stuff to people that have been deceased and wrong names, and it was just a whole influx of, and then they were shutting down, like, you registering for unemployment in certain states, and then they had to figure stuff out. And then there was one situation I heard on the radio, a guy, I think his name was Tupac Shakur.
What?
Legitimately though.
He had to sue.
Yeah. Did he sue?
It was like the governor.
I don't think he sued. Like,
as an example.
Yeah, he didn't. I don't think he had to sue, but the governor immediately, because he like denied it, and then the governor brought it out. Like, people out here doing this, like Tupac, and then he, of course, got his information to the governor, and he had to recant. Like, my bad.
That is my name.
That's who I am. So I mean, there was a lot of fraud going around in regards to it. A ton of fraud going on in regards to it. So I guess the first question I want to ask you all is, do you all agree that they should have gotten that much for the stimulus pay?
Oh yeah, I don't have an issue with them getting that money.
Okay.
I'm interested in Aaron. I'm very interested in Aaron's opinion. Then we'll get back to Tiffany.
Okay. Well, Aaron.
Oh, I don't have a problem with them getting the money. These were some special circumstances. Not only were, like, some people losing jobs because of budget cuts from companies and things like that, but also people had to put their health first, for real. So you were required to go into work and COVID might kill you because you have a pre-existing condition or something like that. Don't go to work. Like, you getting a paycheck is not worth dying for. So yes, I'm for the money. The thing I'm not for is, now what, right? You got all this money. Did you blow it? Like, I think this was the time, like, just what we talked about. I think this was the time to be like, oh, dang, like a pandemic is a real thing. It can really affect me in a negative way. Like, I got to really depend on the government to eat. Maybe I should, I don't know, find a new skill or start looking for a different field to go into, like just different things so you'll be okay when this is over. Because I know I think you absolutely crazy if you thought for a second, I'm so sorry.
Hey, don't have the people come get us because of what you doing to the dog.
Look, I think you're absolutely crazy if you thought they was gonna let this go throughout the entire year. He won't shut up. But yeah,
What is
so
he working at?
nothing.
He got an opinion too.
Right. Y'all gonna hear me.
Literally nothing. But yeah, I think people should have been like, as soon as you got some of that money, you should have been trying to, I don't know, make some, not saying everybody is capable of doing that or everybody even cares enough. I'm just saying, if you got a family, you got to feed yourself. This money it was going to eventually end. So you need to figure out what's life going to be like for you when the money ends, basically.
I think people they don't have foresight like that because they're trying to make it in the moment. So some people have not seen, I'm not calling
That
everybody out here
type of
broke,
money.
right? But a lot of people haven't been able to see or manage that type of money. So for some people who use the money, I don't want to use the terms correctly, but
Yeah.
productively, like they may have been able to catch up on bills. They may have been able to do things for their kids that they were not previously able to do. And for some people, it just didn't stretch, like they just they were able to make it work with that. So I'm not knocking people who didn't save it. Obviously there's people out here that took advantage who shouldn't have been getting it. And like my capacity at work, you talk to these people who like ain't never had a job, ain't never really had any intent on getting a job, and they're like, oh yeah, I'm getting unemployment. Like for
Is it fair for them to get
like,
it?
huh?
Is it fair for them to get it?
You never worked?
In
Yeah.
my opinion, I don't think it's fair for individuals to work the system in the sense of you're now taking this money away from people who need it. People who did not want to work, had no intent on working, and they just use this as a come up. Yes,
As an
I absolutely
opportunity.
see. Right. Like I absolutely see an issue with that. But people who were genuinely working and for whatever reason were no longer able to work during the pandemic and receive that money, kudos and power to you. And I hope that they extend it. I hope that this money is able to change your situation and you're able to continue to take care of your family with it.
I do want to throw this out there though. Like, we're talking about people because we actually like care, right? Because this affects a lot of Black people, right? But I mean, from higher up, like the Republicans were more so concerned about keeping the economy going because people weren't working.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why they kept this going, because they knew people were going to continue to spend even if they were
As
in
long
their
as you had
home.
money.
And that's what they banked on, and that's what actually happened. It was
Yeah.
never about, oh, we don't want y'all to get behind in y'all bills. We want you to be able to feed y'all kids. No, we're worried about that because we know people on the actual unemployment. But no, they were trying to find a way. That was the easiest way to keep the economy going.
Yeah.
In the
It
middle
was
of
it
the
was definitely a push for the economy. It had nothing to do with keeping people's
well-being.
lights on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it had nothing to do. It was definitely it was if you listen to some of the conversations and the talks, they were talking about, hey, we have to infuse the economy with this money. Like that's what it was. It was a push to keep. Yeah, it was people. It was a good push to keep people spending, and I mean, we have a national chain shortage, so obviously we racked up so much online and people doing delivery and electronic transactions where money is not even circulating in a coin fashion anymore. So they definitely it was something to definitely keep the economy going. But in regards to the question I asked, I'll respond like I'm glad that they got it. I do hate that. Some people probably misused it, but back to one of the comments, I think think Tiff made, it was either Tiff or Aaron, was about not being able to, not having this type of money and not knowing, you know, what to do with it. You have some people that never seen that type of money, and it's like, hey, I gotta do X, Y, and Z. The question I wanted to ask about that is, how do we break that? Because that's almost like a generational thing. You know, you never really had so much money, but when you get a lump sum or people hit the lottery or something happens to you, now your whole focus is the first thing you want to do is, I got to go get everything I've never had. I got to go show these people that I've arrived. But we're not looking at the fact that depending on what you buy or what you do with it, at some point in time, it's either, if it's clothing, it's going to be outdated or it's not going to be in style. If it's a car, you probably, unfortunately, and this is just speculation, don't have the right insurance on it. So if you smack it up, it's not going to be the same car. It's just like these, you know, these tangible things. With these tangible things we go to get to let everyone know that we've arrived, and then now it's like, what we gonna do next? You know what I'm saying? So that you know, I have an issue with that, and I guess I feel where Aaron was coming from. Like, let's be as productive as we can. Like you a lot of people are making more on unemployment than they made in their life.
You think people want to go back to work and they making more than what they was making at their minimum wage?
Some people are making twice as much.
I wish there was a way and time for them to have done it that way. Like, you get the equivalent or close to what you were making.
What you were making.
Yeah, because
you have to give people an incentive. To some people, right? Some people, you know, whatever, it's fine. They're cool with working. You have to give some people an incentive to work, because if they already hate their jobs, you think they're wanting.
Yeah, I ain't going back. I'm not going back.
I mean, you definitely have people that are making twice as much as they were making at work. Like, you have, like, for instance, a server. If you worked as a server somewhere that didn't get that much traffic, now you're collecting $900 a week roughly. You probably wasn't.
$500.
It was companies hiring. You think people about to be online applying for jobs if they making double what they was making?
Let me tell you something. I went to Lowe's and Home Depot during all of this because, you know, I had a lot of time on my hands. I needed help in the plant department, and I stood there trying to find somebody. I just found some random guy who rolled up. I'm asking him, and he seemed so discombobulated. I'm like, is this even your area? He said, look, I'm going to be honest with you. We hired 30 people, and 2 showed up.
What?
Nobody wants to work because they're making more on unemployment. I'm like, that's crazy, and you can tell because it looks like nobody has been watering these plants.
Oh my God.
I'm going to go ahead and get out of here, and you be blessed. People don't, I mean, everywhere. For my job, like, I can get people employment. I've never had this many options for employment in my life. Like, you can, like, if somebody even has an inkling to say, I'm looking for a job, hey, what's your email? I can send you 40 places hiring right now.
You could throw a rock at a job, huh?
Everywhere is hiring.
You're right. Every place I've walked in that I've decided to go has a big "we're hiring" sign, like a big.
Bro, I went to Little Caesars drive-through today. All I got was crazy bread. I said I didn't need a bag. They gave me a bag because they put a paper in there letting me know that they're hiring and they are in need of people right now.
But you know what? You know what's not
hiring immediately when this first started.
But you know what's not going to happen though? That will be the incentive, which you raise the rate. Like, if someone can make not what they're making, not $900. Well, I mean, $900 a week is actually the typical job, but no, it's not. No, it's not. No, that's a 2-week check. My bad. That's a 2-week check. I'm sorry. So not $900 a week, of course. My math was off. But I guess the typical $10 an hour is what?
That's
40 hours
an hour if you make $900 a week.
Right, that's 20. So not that, of course. But even if you were to, because what is minimum wage now? Like $8 or something? Is it 8.50? 8.15?
I think.
9.50?
It's that low?
I didn't know it was that low.
Yeah, because they was trying to push it to 15, and I think some states took it and some states didn't. So if they were to do that now, push the minimum wage to $15, even though that's still not a lot of money, and that's still not $22 an hour, you know what I'm saying, on unemployment, that may give some people some incentive to say, hey, I can get a job, or I'm willing to work now, because now if you're cutting this stimulus and my only thing to go back to do is work and get $9.50 an hour, you still might not get people to go back to do that either. They're going to try to figure it out here in these streets, because at this point.
So people probably unfortunately, they're probably going to be desperate, and then it's going to get to the point where like, okay, I ain't got no more money. I got to get what I can.
Gotta do something.
Yeah. Because guess what? Most of the people who are making the lower wages probably have kids they have to take care of. That's just how it works. Like, so
a lot of them are on aid too, and they making that work. Because if you think about it, if you're a single mother and you're reaping the benefits of most aid, like say if you're on Section 8 and you got a bridge car.
Reaping the benefits sounds real right wing, but whatever. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Ooh, I gotta stop you right there, brother.
That just didn't sit well with me, but I get your point.
Looking like you hosting a talk show with that mic.
Already.
Reaping the benefits of aid. Okay. Next, you're gonna call them welfare queens.
Oh my God.
I do apologize. Continue.
I don't even know what I want to say no more. Carry on. What's the next topic? I don't even know what to say no more.
You ready to move on?
Yeah. She just threw me all the way off. Like,
try to backtrack.
Look, you crying.
No, you were saying that if you are a recipient of benefits.
There you go. I like that.
If you're a recipient of benefits and you are also receiving unemployment, that you might be doing well out here, was what I think that I gathered you were trying to get at.
Yeah, you're comfortable, more than comfortable.
Correct. So I hear Mike Tyson is fighting again.
You just gonna ignore it.
Just gonna give up on it like that.
So I hear Mike Tyson is fighting again. We're gonna show a short clip of him getting it together, and you all tell me if you all think he's ready or not, or would you get in the ring with him? Give me 1 second.
I would never doing that.
I can answer that now.
That wasn't an option. We didn't discuss it.
And you got a lot of tabs open.
Pornhub.
What? Jeff is like a sticky y'all.
He looking strong.
Ooh. He looks like he will hurt somebody.
Yeah, he looking strong. That's what I said. Before I even knew who he was going against, I'm like, who's going against that?
I just don't know, to be in your 50s still getting hit in the head. Like, I don't get it. I know he looks great, and he's probably still in decent shape, decent fighting shape, because he's in great shape for like a 54-year-old man. I think that's how old he is.
Mm-hmm.
But great, decent fighting shape. Can you really take those blows?
But I mean, you said who his opponent was. Aren't they like closer in age?
It don't matter.
They still be knocking each other in the head.
I mean, yeah, a knockout is a knockout, but it's not like he's going against someone who's 20-something. So they may be about the same pace.
Dog.
Pace, I'm fine with.
50-year-old man knock another 50-year-old man out. It's
that old man's strength.
That doesn't even sound entertaining. Oh, it sounds horrible.
It's gonna be hard to watch.
But I'm saying if somebody buy the fight, I'm for sure going to watch
Oh
it.
yeah. I mean, I want to see it kind of, but I might be like this, cringe worthy.
So I'm trying to find a picture of Roy training, and it's like a lot of,
He don't have the same type of thing that Mike got.
Nah, he about to get his head knocked off.
I'm about to play what I found, and it looked real like jazzy. It don't look like he out here trying to put in his work.
Stepping.
Let me try one more video. Let me see. Y'all carry on.
Yeah, but when is it coming on, sis?
It's September something on Trilla.
Oh.
What's Trilla? Is that a
it's an app. I don't know.
I'm gonna have to purchase the app. I can't.
Probably so. All right, so I'm gonna show this video of him training. It don't look like he ready for Mike, but you know, I'll let you all be the judge of that.
He moving like an old man.
Oh Lord.
He in flip flops training.
Okay, well, and then there's that. Mike about to kill him.
Quick.
Is he?
Did you just see Mike?
Right. I can't. I don't know if I want to watch that.
And it's about to get worked. All for a payday? Like, come on, man.
I mean, money might be tight. He ain't get the stimulus.
I don't care. They need to start like some type of organization where these new boxers pay these old ones or something. Like the stuff T.I.
They should get like a retirement. Yeah, they should. Like the NFL gets retirement, NBA gets retirement. They should get a retirement.
Do something.
Don't get in the ring with him for like 2 whole minutes if somebody paid you $10 million.
Who, Mike Tyson?
Oh, but I won't have a life after. So is that how I'm gonna spend that $10 million?
I mean, if you can run, you might be able
to just run circles around that.
Are you even allowed to do that?
Yeah.
But the likelihood of getting hit once, like if him connecting one time would be enough for me. Nah, I'm good.
Your quality of life is over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll bet on myself and I'll figure a way to make that money on my own.
Yeah, you can offer me
in the ring with Mike Tyson.
Yeah, he looking like a killer in these streets. But yeah, like you said, if somebody buys it, I'll try to check it out until I can't anymore. I don't know if I can make it through that.
Yeah, it's supposed to be on Trilla or something. I'm trying to research it, but whatever.
Maybe they have like somebody's promoting the app or
it looks like it.
Like a new platform.
Well, you know, everything like is like jumping to platforms. They've been doing concerts on like some platform. I've heard.
I mean, Instagram with the verses is everything.
I watched DMX.
I saw pieces of it, but I haven't sat back and watched the whole thing.
I like how they did it in the same room.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, they started doing them like that now because that Teddy Riley and Babyface was mess.
But theirs was the one that was other people had done it before that and it worked out. So
yeah, Teddy Riley didn't have he needed Wi-Fi extender or something. He ain't got the right stuff.
Yeah, just to kind of backtrack, Trilla is just a pay-per-view, so you're gonna have to buy it to some platform, but you're gonna buy it.
Like pay-per-view on TV.
I mean, through Trilla, however you get Trilla, I haven't figured that out, but you're gonna have to pay for that however you get it.
Oh.
Yeah, usually it's probably like $100 or less because that's how much they usually are.
I normally just show up to the party like, hey y'all, brought drinks.
Ain't gonna be no party. We in COVID, girl.
No, you gotta have a party with like people you trust. You know they said COVID, people wearing masks is like how people use condoms. Like you don't really use them with the people you trust. I feel like that's how it is though. Like, I've definitely been together.
One more time.
So people use masks like how they use condoms. You don't use them with people you trust.
All right, I found the link. It doesn't say how much, but I'll at least show you what it looks like. And I guess it's something that you can download. So it's an
Oh, it's a
application.
live stream.
Yeah.
Yeah, watch it on a computer. No, and I guess you could cast it too.
I mean, Tiff, you guys smart everything. I'm sure you can pull it up on the TV.
If you got a Fire Stick, you can probably download that app. I feel like I've seen it before.
Yeah.
All right. Well, moving right along here. The next thing is, Tiff, that video that you showed us, how long was that? Like, do we want to play the whole video or?
It was a few seconds.
Because
longer than a few seconds. But I think it's more than worth it. I can tell you in one.
I agree.
It's 2 minutes.
all right, we got time. Anybody got nowhere to go?
Okay, because baby girl. Let me know if you can hear it. And
I'm about to play it.
oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's why I was asking you how long it was. Got you, coach.
Appreciate you, Kenpo.
You know, what everybody doing the Zoom? Everybody
Doing that?
they be powered when they get out.
Okay.
I don't know that life.
Hey, sorry, you get out here in the public. Just you get right. All right, and here we are.
Can you hear it?
You can't hear it? Can you hear it now?
Nope.
Y'all can't hear it at all?
No.
But y'all heard everything else?
No.
All the other videos.
Y'all heard everything else, but not this.
I didn't hear the other videos.
Did the other videos have sound?
Maybe take your headphones off.
No, that has nothing to do with it.
No.
We didn't hear anything. Like,
all right, well, we'll circle back to this. Let me figure this out. I didn't know you all weren't hearing anything. You never said anything. All right, so we'll circle back. We'll circle back to that. So I guess the last thing on the agenda here is just how you all are feeling in regards to everything that's been going on in the world with Black Lives Matter. So like the organization, just the movement period, like how do you all feel?
When we were deep in it, and we still are. I don't want to take away from that, but like when, you know, the George Floyd thing was fresh, it felt different. It felt like this was very real and that this time was the time that is going to make real change. And you saw some change come about. Like you saw legislation being brought, you saw racist people being exposed like no other. And I still think that things are changing. Obviously, I think it's slowed down. Well, let me not say I think it's slowed down. I think the media is not focusing on it as much as they once were. I think people are still marching. They're still, you know, like the Breonna Taylor thing. People are still mentioning that. It's still in the forefront, but the media is not on it as much. But I think that this time is just different. It feels different. It smells different. I think that Black people are making their way to being fully accepted. At least I like to think that. I like to think that we're on our way to just equality.
I agree that it feels different or seems different in terms of the light that's really being shined on it and the action that's being taken this go around, at least in our lifetime. Like obviously, you know, we read and we see clips and stuff about everything that happened in like the 50s and 60s, but in our lifetime, and I'm sure all of us have experienced some form of racism or comments or seen the systemic oppression. This is the furthest I've seen us come as a people since I've been living.
Mm-hmm.
And the most acknowledgement that I've seen since I've been living. Now, hopefully, there continues to be change with that. You know, it's going to take time. Like you said, it's slow, but things are happening, people are talking about it, and I am a firm believer that, you know, you have to bring attention to it in order for things to change. Like, I never know people who would be like, well, why are we still talking about this? Because it's just like, if someone never apologizes or make right for something that they did to you personally, like, it's gonna always be on your mind. It's gonna always be a shadow over your head. You can't just expect me to be like, well, fuck it, I'm gonna just keep living. Like, sure, it would be nice to say that you could do that, but it's gonna still affect you, whether you outwardly act like it or if it's something that's internally going on. So I do believe that, you know, you're gonna shed light on it, or it's gonna always come up until something is fixed. So I'm glad to see that there's light shined on it, and hopefully they'll keep making change. And it's like you said, people are getting exposed, and I see it a lot even with my patients. You know, their comments. Oh, I kind of knew how you felt, but like now you really
Now
letting
I
it
know.
ride now. Yeah, like now I know how you feel, and it's interesting how you're okay saying certain stuff because you don't think that is bad. Like you really believe that this is okay. So it's interesting, but I like what's happening in terms of at least it being brought to the forefront. So we'll see what happens.
Um, all of this kind of brought up some like, I guess, some like realizations for me. Like, oh, like I've been living like this like my whole life, and it's just second nature to me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, something that really bothered me, in Livonia, or when you were coming to Livonia, they had that billboard, right, that says like, racial profiling up ahead, like Livonia, Michigan. And I was like, that's crazy to me. I was like, first of all, that should be in several other cities.
It's true.
And I posted on Instagram. I was like, this actually really bothered me because now it reminds me of when I first started driving. That was one of the first things my parents told me, was like, gave me the entire rundown, what cities to like
Be
if you're
careful.
not driving right to begin with, you better drive right through Dearborn or through
Mm-hmm.
Troy. Like, don't be playing around on that phone because, or like, don't none of that stuff, right? Like, because you'll get pulled over just for being black, not necessarily because you did anything.
Mm-hmm.
So it just brought up some feelings because I'm like, dang, I guess I have been like living a certain way, or I'm the first. I notice like anytime I walk in a conference room or I walk in someplace and I'm like, oh, you the only black one. That's like one of the first things I notice, right? They don't feel like that. But I think us having these conversations, they know how
We feel
you
now.
just you constantly feel singled out. So I think it's I'm glad that people are talking about it. I think they should keep talking about it. I mean, I've gotten to the point where I don't even think like I appreciate Black history like for us, so we know, but I think Black history at this point is American history.
Mm-hmm.
America's have like they've tried to cover slavery up for so long. Like, no, it's a part. Like, yeah, y'all kind of skip over it in history class, but no, say what happened. And now they like trying to circle back because a lot of things are coming to light. Like, no, like talk about it, address the feelings that people have had and still do have. It's a lot of white people. Some of my old white coworkers have like reached out to me and was apologizing to me, like saying they felt terrible, they didn't know some of these things were going on. I mean, people really be like, oblivious to it. They don't know what's going on.
It was exhausting having those conversations.
It was, but then I also felt obligated, right, to have those kind of conversations. I said, this is my time to let you know then. If you didn't know before, like now I'm gonna let you know. So it's my chance to like educate you on it. But then after that, that's your responsibility to, continue to educate yourself because the information is out there. It was never not out there.
See, it got to a point for me where it's like I just got tired of having those type of conversations with people. Like I'm not your encyclopedia, okay? And I'm not proficient in every issue that all black people have. I can tell you about my issues though, but you need to know how to deal with people and what's going on in that history. And if you truly wanted to know, then maybe go read a book. Maybe go take some classes. Maybe you need to do the work instead of calling Black Girl Tiffany and say, "Hey, tell me about your plight. tell me what's going on, and I want to apologize. Like, you personally ain't never did nothing to me, so lay off. Like,
I would say recommend the book White Fragility if anyone has questions.
mm-hmm.
Like and it's written by a white woman for white people, but it's a good read, and it really breaks it down so many steps, like what's been happening and how they viewed it and why they're so sensitive about stuff. Like it puts it in their own perspective
Mm-hmm.
and why it's so defensive. So next time somebody asks you, send the book to them. I think it would probably be beneficial. And it would save you the trouble of trying to explain stuff in detail, and it's coming from one of their own.
Making me want to read it because I'm curious.
Like, what are you saying?
You need to fact check it now.
Yeah.
I like the way it was broken down. Like it put it in terms like you can't deny this.
Well,
Check Amazon out.
Yeah, right.
I just hope, like I think Tiff was saying, somebody was saying it. I just hope that it's the right push, because you see a lot of people, like for instance, like with the whole Juneteenth thing, a lot of companies were, making it a paid holiday off for, the company and everyone. You see like the Black Lives Matter painted on a lot of the downtown areas of a lot of major cities, and it seems like a lot of people are taking notice, and I just hope they're not taking notice because
it looks good.
Because it's a fact, it's the thing to do right now. I hope they're like actually taking notice, because it seems like the more people are taking notice, the more crazy people are coming out. Like you have more videos, and I'm sure all of this has been happening, but now everyone's pulling out their phone to record every scenario. Like
Karens are going wild.
They have an Instagram called Karen's Going Wild. Like, and it's.
I got a real question for y'all, right? So, if we weren't in the middle of a pandemic and everybody wasn't quarantined in their home, you already know.
They wouldn't have took notice. Yeah, they wouldn't have noticed what they did.
This is the perfect storm. Niggas got time.
Guess what? And I feel the exact same way. I'm like, this might be the change Black people needed, right? We needed a pandemic to happen, right? Because to be honest, I think a lot of protesters came out to get out the house. I hate to say it. Real talk. They out there dancing and stuff like that. Not saying that they don't care, but
they just wanted to go bust a move.
No opportunity to get out the house without getting in trouble for it. Basically.
But I also think that's how people took notice. Like these white people, if football was on, if baseball was on, they wouldn't be paying attention to all of this stuff that's going on. They don't have nothing else to watch.
It's like the world,
not just white people non-Black people.
Right.
Like they wouldn't be paying attention to this.
It's like the world somehow stopped, and now coincidentally you have to pay attention to Black people now.
Yeah,
like
Black Lives Matter's been going on.
It's like, oh wait, y'all are here, huh?
It's like your cable TV is off and it's only one working channel, and it's the Black channel. You are forced to see what's happening in the Black community now.
Yeah, because like it's when you're seeing all those protests in Germany, like all across the world.
Yeah, that ain't never happened.
In London,
beautiful.
like you see massive protests in places that you never would have thought would have blinked the eye.
Black struggle in America.
So,
it was places in the Middle East, like we stand with you. It was amazing.
Yeah. So I say all that to say I hope like it something has clicked. Like the light has came on, and because they can really see something has clicked. But I think the downside to that is that something else has clicked, and the people that don't care and do believe in white supremacy and all of that stuff, because they getting out of control.
You know what? And my thing is this. They're starting, but not starting. It's been happening for a little while, but it's getting worse and worse, right? The shame that comes along with it. Just like, years ago being a Nazi, now like you would be ashamed to tell somebody you used to be a Nazi. Like turn it into the same thing. Be ashamed to be a part of the KKK. Be ashamed to be a neo-Nazi or a racist. Yeah.
But you got some people that you have some people, like I was watching one video where it was a guy, he was at, I think it was on the 4th of July, a guy went to a cemetery, but I think a lot of veterans were buried at this cemetery. Now, it was a white guy, and he was wearing a Black Lives Matter shirt. And they surrounded him and was like, that was basically intimidating him, like surrounded him. Why you wearing that? What's that about? And, you know, of course, spitting that all lives matter. And, you know, what that just don't mean, like, you know what I'm saying? If y'all got a problem with it, get out and go back to where you came from. And, bruh, he's white. Like, what are we talking about? So they were surrounding him, and it was just funny that eventually a officer pulled up, and he came and got him out of the in crowd. And he was just like, "Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. You might want to leave because no one technically has broken any laws yet. I'm not arresting anyone. I'm not arresting you. You have the right to be here. But I'm gonna be very honest with you. It's not a good look.
It's probably not it for you. You alone,
you by yourself, and I mean, it was a massive crowd around him, and I almost got scared for him for a minute. Like, he might not make it out of that. Because they were, like, getting real close, and, you know, and he would kept saying, like, wait, y'all want to do something? Oh, no, we're not trying to do nothing. It was like somebody was trying to get close enough, but then he had the camera out, and then they would kind of move back, and it was just crazy. So, and you're just seeing more and more in this. Like, like you said, you don't want to watch it all the time. Some of the stuff is funny to me, how they respond. Like, it's actually entertaining. Like, I've seen videos where a guy was in his car, and he was watching his kids at the park. And a lady walked up on him like, "What you doing? Why you here?" And, "What you mean what I'm doing? Why I'm here? Like, I'm watching my kid. What's the problem?" "Oh, okay." And then she was just going on. She seemed like she was a little disturbed because she was kind of, you know, circling around and saying the same thing over and over. But it's just crazy. I think it's just somehow people have gotten the green light to just be who they really are. And I'm okay with it. Show me who you are. I'm okay with that.
Social media will police you. Like, they will really post your picture around until someone finds you and you lose your job.
You yourself could be crazy. You could be poor, on drugs, disenfranchised, or whatever, and you still look down on this race. Like, you still feel like, oh no, you're less than me. Like, what?
I think that
she clearly looked crazy, but even in all her craziness, this person didn't belong there, but she did.
Because you got white skin.
To that, you were about to say about what you were saying about you guys have read it yet. I caught a little bit of the Breakfast Club yesterday, and they had Ice Cube on, I think, and he was talking about, he's like an activist stuff. I think he always has been, but he was saying he posted, it's a contract with Black America. And it's only 4 pages long. I read it the other day, but it's another read I'm suggesting to you all. And it basically, like, breaks down suggestions of what we want. And he opens it up, like, comment, add to it, take some things out or whatever. But so far, everything that I've read, like, it makes sense. You know, I think it's fair. He talks about, and I don't know if he's the only one who wrote it or if he found it somewhere because I missed that part of the interview. But the contract talks about how to make things equal or fair. Like, if it's 13.4% Black people in America, that should at least be the percentage that you see represented in different places, at places of employment, at schools with the teachers and the students. It talks about making or declaring the KKK a terrorist group, because it's not. So it talks about that. It talks about, which we're seeing some banks do, allowing special amount of money or loans to go to Black people or small Black business. What's some other stuff? So it has, like, a money lending part, constitutional amendment, reform. It's good. It's like 4 pages. So you can check that out on his website. It's a link to it, which is iq.com. Simple enough. And read it, and maybe we can talk about it next time. Tell me what you guys think. But I think so far everything that's on it makes sense, and it's reasonable. Like, I don't see why you can't do it. It's not asking too much. It talks about the monuments, like how they're taking monuments down, and that, you know, we're not asking that you destroy them or burn them. You put them in the Smithsonian, you can put them in a museum because they are part of our history. But
You don't have
you
to
having them
glorify them
in
in the
public areas is basically praising something that's racist. So take it down and you can put it in a museum, but it doesn't have to be up at town hall.
Yeah, that's true.
So I like that idea.
I like Ice Cube anyway, so.
Yeah.
So I had you at Ice Cube, basically. I ain't have to explain all of that.
I like at the beginning of the
I
George
wanted
Floyd
to
thing,
know.
he was supposed to be on.
You know, it wasn't a bad idea, whatever idea he had.
I actually pulled it up so I can at least show you all what it looks like.
I wouldn't let me print it. I tried to print it. But anyway, I just had it.
Yeah. You all see it?
Oh, somebody got busy on Word.
Yeah, that's it's like 4 pages.
Tiffany.
Bullet points. Okay.
Oh, God. Y'all are.
But yeah, check that out and we can, talk about that next time. If
You read that.
A quick read.
All right. Well, I couldn't figure out the sound thing, and I don't want to test it while we're recording. So
you could just play the audio, fix it, or somebody hold it up to the mic. Oh, y'all want to see my man's facial expression?
no, I need to see this. So
You gotta see that level of hurt.
Because he looked almost as hurt as Will did. So
he wasn't expecting those answers, and I just really felt bad for him.
So no, we're gonna put a pin in that. However, do you all have anything else you want to discuss? This has been great. It's been a long time. Shouldn't have left you without a no beat to step two.
Breaker.
Glad to be back and having good conversations with you guys again.
Yeah, I'm happy that we took a little hiatus, but we're back and it's super dope.
As always. Well, people, this has been long. I think this is probably about almost 2 hours, about an hour and a half. I guess rightfully so, right? It's been so long.
Right. We had a lot to talk about. We still have stuff to talk about.
A lot has been going on in the world.
Yeah, we
just scraped the surface.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate everyone tuning in. This will be, of course, on YouTube. I didn't expect it to go this long. They do have an option for me to upload at least up to an hour on Instagram now, but this is more than an hour. But I'll put some highlights up. Huh?
You can edit it.
Yeah, I will put some highlights up, and then of course this will be on YouTube on our YouTube page, and also the audio will be on all streaming platforms. We back out here, and we appreciate your time. So I am Jay Liggs. This is your culture. So be a part of the cure. Peace.
Peace.